welcome to Belmore Sports Ground for this electrifying match between the Dolphins and the Sydney Roosters. Here with the Bulldogs at home tonight, there's old man Harris running out onto the field, and it's my pleasure to welcome to the box tonight Nathan O'Donnell. Nathan, how are you tonight?
Yeah, very good. Very eager to see these teams kick off. Had a pretty strong start. The Roosters, especially in pre-season. It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it's unfortunate the Roosters weren't able to get up last week, but they showed some very promising signs compared to what they were like last season. And the Dogs come from behind victory in the dying minutes against their opponents last week. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic match tonight. Who do you reckon is going to tip the scales tonight, Nathan?
My money's on the Roosters.
Yep. I think I'm probably going to go for a Roosters upset as well, but you never know with Moana out there as he lines up to kick us off tonight into that lovely dewy air. And Roosters will have the first return of the ball. With Wilson first hit up, staunch defense there from the Bulldogs, and we are underway. So looking at both teams tonight, Nathan, who do you think the danger people are that they have to worry about?
Well, firstly, Cody Mansour make up a break up the middle of the field there. Puts him in perfect position off that second tackle. Him and Weston, like I said, I'm still on Roosters, so those two are going to be very dangerous in the back line, but we do have to keep an eye out for Jimmy Ralph. He's going to scoot that ball. He's going to catch those markers off guard like he has. What about yourself?
Ooh, just as we say that, the Roosters throwing it around a bit too much. I'm with you with the Roosters. I think Cody Mansour has definitely found his position up the back there for the Roosters. Like I said, whilst they didn't win last week, Cody Mansour was one of the in-form players for the Roosters. If we look at the Bulldogs, Moana had an absolutely stunning game last week. So if he can keep that possession going, if he can keep the ball in play and keep the kicks up in the air, we might find that the Bulldogs could really prove a challenge tonight for the Roosters.
So the Bulldogs do play their fourth tackle. They're going right side, short side. Last tackle now, 35 metres gained. They're going to take
And
it.
so, so even though there was a bit of an error there from the Roosters, they've been able to turn around and keep the defence going, which is good signs for the Roosters, as Mansour takes it there for the first. And Wilson bumping off one and pushing a strong return back up to the 20-metre mark. Play it there for his second. Ralph out to Curtin. Curtin moved to the halves for this season so far. Had a good game last week. But that is not the path you want.
Yeah, that's it. You can't be throwing the ball around like that just off your 20-metre line. You're just going to give the Bulldogs here plenty of space, really. You've got a 5-tackle set as they're 5 metres out now.
As Namana tries to push over, but he's pushed onto his back handily for the fourth there. So the Roosters just holding out. Yeah, just holding out. So we're going right now. Hellier back on the inside to Moana for a cheeky little pass there, and it's fifth tackle. Let's see what the Bulldogs can go. Do they dummy? Do they grubber? No, Hellier just runs it, and the Roosters somehow survive another repeat set.
Hellier is dangerous with the ball, but that's not your last tackle. Option is Wilson takes a break, the big front rower. He's made it to the 30-metre line. That's some good metres there.
And it looks like the Roosters... Oh, no, another error. Columbus grabs it and makes it all the way to the 10th.
What's going on? These teams are just throwing the ball left, right and centre. Roosters more so, and they keep doing it just in the danger zone.
Roosters must have a little... Oh, there we go. Gould's over.
That's an awesome try. Hellier probably could have got there himself, but he's not selfish. He's definitely letting his number 11 get a try on the board.
Yep, we'll call him Mr. Selfless Hellier. He definitely could have rolled over there, but no. He passed it on to Gould, and Gould, a lovely try there, filling in for the second row option there for the Bulldogs. And if we've got a good set of wind coming up here. Moana should be able to push it off over the post and go out to a 6-point lead. And there we go. 7 minutes in, 6 points. Bulldogs to the Roosters 0.
Yeah, and like I said before, I think if Roosters hold on to the ball a bit more, complete their set, kick to the corner, get Bulldogs, where they want them, they'll definitely push in for a little bit more of a fight.
Yeah, definitely. The Roosters, when they have had the ball for the 1 or 2 times, they've been making line breaks easy. The only problem is that they're trying to play the ball way too almost violently pass it to each other. So, as you said, if they can hold on to the ball, they might prove to be a bit of an upset here against the Bulldogs. As Wallace off to Hellier and out to Namana, makes a line break straight away. But here we go.
That's a good tackle by Mensah, I think, to sort of dislodge the ball, but unfortunately his hand did touch it as Wallace makes a break up the middle to start off a fresh set.
Yeah, heads and arms and all sorts of limbs going all over the place as Moana pushes through, and we're already 5 meters out from the second tackle. This is not looking good for the Roosters here, Nathan.
Look, they just can't hold on. They're getting shrugged off left, right, and centre. As Bulldogs take it up to the middle again. That's an odd play, but look, whatever gets you points, Moana crashes over for a stunning try.
And we said earlier that Moana is one of the danger men for the Bulldogs. As we see there, coming out of dummy half, just bumps off the shoulder there of the number 10. Moana grabs the dice, grabs the ball, grounds it, and within the space of 2 minutes, we're about to be 12-0 up.
Yeah, look, it's interesting. It's been Bulldogs' ball, just left, right, and centre. Roosters, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but they just need to play simple footy.
Belmore is definitely an imposing home ground, and Bulldogs, one of the reasons they made it so far last season, Premiers last season, is because of how much of an imposing ground they've got here at Belmore. So if the Roosters, if they're a little bit intimidated by the crowd there, that might explain some of the issues they might be having at the moment.
Yeah, that's right, and they do have the home ground advantage. Belmore is a unique place. As they take it up to the 20 metres here, Nemana.
So now the Roosters, this is where they have to start stopping the Bulldogs. It's 10 minutes in. It's only 12 points. It's still early in the match. But if they can put in a good defensive set here, force the Bulldogs to boot deep into their half, they can start turning on some of those attacking plays that the Roosters have. With Hellier out to Slugger, and Slugger is met handily with a tackle. Buried there on the 35. Much better set so far. As Hellier boots it deep, aiming for the sideline. It's got the distance. It just doesn't have the legs to get over there, except for Mansour, who then takes it into touch.
Yeah. Look, it's another error again, and within that red danger zone. So, look, I really like the look of Bulldogs. It's like they've been training, with their backs mainly during this week, because their play is that they're getting it out wide. They're also sticking to the middle. They're drilling the Roosters forwards.
And Moana returns it up to play it first, 12 meters out from his line. Wallace out to Johnston, playing very lovely ball out here to Gould, first try scorer of the match tonight. 5 meters out, playing it there for the second. Johnston pushing forward, 3 meters out. Lovely pass out to Hellier, but the Roosters are able to hold on, read it, and push him back for his fourth. Strong goal line defense here. Gould out to Slugger, and Slugger is over.
That is a brilliant ball. Another hole at the line. It's what's the defensive side doing? That are they not sliding? I don't know what it is, but they're finding the hole and they're getting through.
Oh, the defensive line wasn't sliding at all. You were right there. Gould can score them, and that was an absolutely excellent pass out from Gould there for Slugger. So we've got an 11, we've got a 13, and now we've got a 5 scoring. So Bulldogs, not just racing the clock, but
is he out? What do you think?
Oh, I reckon he'll. Yep, no, I reckon this will be in.
You can't call it.
Nope,
Oh, he's
nope,
he's
yeah,
missed it.
no. Well, that's why I don't have any of the goal kicking duties. I'm just a prop. I don't have any of that sort of temperament.
Nah, that's all right. But look, 16-0. It's going to be tough, but look, it's still doable. It's only 13 minutes in. What do you think the coach is going to say halftime to the Roosters?
Well, I know Harris, and Harris is definitely not going to be happy with this performance, especially with how well they played and improved on last last game. What I reckon he's going to say is he's just going to talk about defense because they've definitely got the strike power, they definitely got the attack out there, but if they're continuously letting the Bulldogs go through the line like butter, there's definitely nothing they can do to. Well, speak of the devil, a slugger makes its way almost to the 50.
Yeah, look, yeah, you're definitely right. But as we can see here, they've still. It is fourth tackle, 40 meters, 45 meters out. It's simple footy. That's all that needs to be played by Roosters. As Johnson does make it up through the middle there to gain an extra 20 meters, 15 meters, sorry.
And with a good little kick here from Hellier, Edwards is going to return, and already he's around and he's beating the fullback. The fullback
What
is
we call
almost
is
there. He's chasing, and he just doesn't have the legs. And
look,
Edwards, oh,
hey, that's what they need. That's what they need. What a good run by Edwards. He was just about to get caught, but I think that's Hellier there chasing him.
yeah, I said it was
Just a
the
little
fullback,
ankle
but
tap might have saved it.
no, TTM was nowhere to be seen there. And Hellier, the legs of a fullback in the body of a half, almost got there, but it had to be some individual brilliance there from Edwards to put Sydney on the board and possibly breathe some life into the Roosters side tonight.
Yeah, Goodwin's not mucking around there. Quick conversion. Yeah, look, I think that's going to sort of breathe some life into the Roosters team, and it's probably going to be what they need.
Yep, settle the nerves. Only 10 points now, 16 minutes in. Oh, geez, 22 points so far in this game. So if things continue this way, we might just see some records broken tonight as Moana kicks it off and Mansour returns back to Goodwin. Now, I've got you here in the box tonight, Nathan, and you've recently moved into fullback for the Titans full-time position. What's that move been like for you?
Oh, look, it was hard to leave the Knights, and look, it's actually just it's been great up the sunny Gold Coast. Look, I'm loving the beach. I think that's where I'm doing my beach runs every day, and it's sort of it's been my best season yet was last season. Bulldogs nearly. Is he going to get over? He's held up, I think.
No. We I tried to ask you a question, and the Roosters threw it off to the Bulldogs, unfortunately. So I'll get back to you with that as the Bulldogs, Moana, attacking the line yet again, has to almost get there, but is buried there 1 meter out. Quick little crash play from Hodgson, not lucky. Fourth, 3 meters out. Off to Jackson. Jackson's pushing, and he's over.
Oh, he's over, but has he got it down?
Bunker comes
He's
into it. Oh, we need another vision there.
yeah,
I
that's
reckon that's in.
yeah, I think that's down. It's literally it's a kick in the guts for the Roosters, unfortunately. But they need to hold their heads up, not look at the scoreboard, and just they need to work a little harder in that defense.
Yep. So again, they scored, but it's been nullified now with a lovely ball and a lovely crash play there from Jackson to get over. So, looking at this Bulldog side, it is very clear that they've got strike all over the park. We've had two forwards, we've had a back, and now we've had one of their halves score. So, uh, a scary side. They are our reigning premiers from season 8, so it's no surprise there. But it looks like they're continuing their form well into season 9 so far.
Yeah, that's it. This season's looking really good for the Dogs. Yeah, they look too strong, really. Every team's going to be intimidated by them, but yeah, I think you need your home ground advantage to put some more points on the Dogs. As
Oh, look at
Curtin
that. Oh,
gets the ball early on,
oh, that was it. And Harris.
Bulldogs.
Oh, Goodwin. 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 He's
Yeah,
over.
I think he's down.
Oh, oh, the ball came loose there for a second. Did he ground it before he lost it, or did he lose it in the process?
Don't
Oh,
quite see it there, but yeah,
no,
that's
that's down.
and look, that's just goes to show why you don't throw long balls in your 20 meters, in your own 20 meters.
So again, both teams are absolutely flogging the clock right now. This is going to be 22-12, and we're only 20 minutes in. We haven't even had the first rotation of props come in yet, Nathan.
Look, this is a nail biter. I don't know what's going to happen here, but I'm actually very excited. There's plenty of game time left.
And as a neutral, you love to see these sorts of games. You hate to see it as one of the people barracking for your team because you know that the scores are going to be big and you don't know where they're coming from. But as a neutral, a big, high-scoring attacking game is better than a defensive, nil or drub thing.
Yeah, definitely. I know Tedesco's on the bench. He's wanting to get out there for the Bulldogs. Same with Holmes and Goodwin in Roosters. It's going to be interesting once this rotation comes into play.
And speak of the devil, we should be seeing the Roosters props coming on right there. So we're either going to see the attack ramp up significantly, or we might see a little bit of a slowdown in attack with those props as they're focusing on some defense. As Holmes pushes his way up to the 35-meter. So let's get back to you, Nathan. So what's it like playing fullback as compared to the winger that you've been playing so far from the last couple of seasons?
Look, it's been good to get the confidence off the boys around Titans. They definitely make it easy. They work hard in the middle. The offloads, it's been great. So the move's been great. It's just a breath of fresh air, and I couldn't thank them enough for giving me that confidence to jump in that fullback spot. Yeah, I'm loving it. It's great footy.
No, and we definitely saw how well you played there for the preseason challenge. So it's going to be good to see you keep playing that all season, and hope you, I hope you don't play that well when you come up against my Broncos. But other than that, looking forward to some good form from you, as we've got Moana passing it on a tricky play. Oh, a lovely little play for TTM there, and a lovely pass out to Helia.
And look, that's
And
like I said, it's that those plays they've been spot on, except that one in their own 20.
yep. And the Bulldogs playing it there on the 30. Punt kick down from Helia. And the Roosters have a chance of doing their own attacking here from Western, who can't get anywhere. Some excellent defense there from the Bulldogs. So the Roosters working their way out of their own half now. Tierney tries to make it up, and he's pushed back handily there from the Bulldogs, playing it just on the other side of this 20. Ralph out to Johnson, and Johnson again pushing forward, playing it there on the 30. Ralph out to Goodwin, out to Harris, and Harris trying to push through, getting his team in a good position. We should see a 40-20 here, and we'll see if no. Oh,
That's unbelievable. Just holding onto that ball is crucial.
No, and here we go with a lovely little glitch play here. So we've got Moana out to Metcalf. Wonderful defense there from the Roosters. Those players usually get through, and the Roosters saw it coming and stopped it just in the nick as Maxwell tries to make his way up, playing it there just shy of the 30 for a second. Wallace off to Jackson. Willis passing Moana. Ball play here is phenomenal from the Bulldogs, playing it there 25 out on their third. Again, out to Jackson. Maxwell. Cambolo down the sideline, but the Roosters hold on. Fourth tackle. The Roosters, you cannot fault them. Their defense so far has been phenomenal as Jackson works his way straight through And I might pass it over to you, Nathan, so I don't jinx them anymore.
Yeah, that's a bit of commentator curse, like straight away. But as they put a bomb up, beautiful by Edwards. Taking 20 metres out. They're going to need those 20 metres as we've got 14 minutes remaining of this half. They spread it
It was a
right. It's hope they complete this set.
Yeah, it was a good little attacking set from the Bulldogs, but there was just nothing there at the end of that kick. They put it up and there was no chasers. So the Roosters, as much as they're not really their best friend at the moment, they're a bit of their own worst enemy. They're doing enough to stay in the game. So if they can score next, they will go a long way towards clawing back this game. As Tierney plays it just shy of the 50. Lovely inside pass there for Holmes. We're finally into the Bulldogs half, and Johnson works up. TTM has to pull him down, but he gets there just enough field position to be able to put into an attacking kick here. So if Goodwin can put it high, not very deep, but TTM gets around one, and he's off.
He's off.
The
Watch him
Goosey
go.
is off. There is no one stopping him. In fact, there's only a Bulldog in front of him, not alone behind him, and TTM is under, and he's over for a try.
But once he gets that ball, you might as well just write it off. He's just the speed, the dominance in his left foot step there. It's unreal.
Who was that Bulldog running basically next to him? Is that Moana there keeping pace with him?
Yeah, it does look like Moana. He's yelling out, give me the ball, but unlike Hellier, Maxwell, he's over.
Moana's there to challenge K for his MVP medal. So here he is, putting it over again. Moana is going for a lot of points tonight, and he's about to make it 28-12 to the Roosters, and we're only just hitting the 30-minute mark.
Yeah, look, his right foot there is getting a workout with these conversions, but look, it's been brilliant footy by the Bulldogs. They couldn't be any happier.
And as Goodwin prepares to return it, we would be hoping that some of the kicks he's putting through might want to be a bit more refined. He's only moved into the halves this season, and he's seen some bright lights here and there, but that kicking game is going to need to improve just a bit as Maxwell passes it to Tedesco, and he works its way up to the 20. Jackson off to Hodgson. Hodgson, lovely ball there, but good defense, playing it for the second. Gould can't get too much further, and the Roosters muscle him back over the 30 and makes about 1 meter for his troubles. Wallace down the blind side to Maxwell, and he gets around one, but he can't get much further, and we're about to see if Hellier can put in another dangerous kick. Nope, they choose to run with it again, and all in all, a good defensive set there from the Roosters.
I think the Bulldogs are sort of starting to play safe footy now. They know they're in a bit of a lead, but there's only about 8 minutes left for the half, and they're going to need the break. They've been working hard.
Yeah, a lot of big tired forwards out there at the moment as Mansour tries his hand to get through the line, playing it there for his second. Hasn't really had as much impact as he had last game, but Tierney breaks the line. Lovely seeing a 14 come through, break the line, and pass it off to his number 9 there in Ralph. And the Roosters, if they play their cards right, they might be able to put in an attacking kick, but Harris there, playing it for his 4th. Out to Kerrigan, back on the inside to Mansour, breaks the line, but who is there to stop him? It's Moana yet again. So he can run, he can pass, he can kick, and my boy, can that man defend. As Curtin boots it, and Slugger met handily in defence there.
Yeah, look, ever since they let Slugger in for that try, I think they've been heavily defending him with the centre and winger tackling him nearly every time.
And they'd have to, because Slugger, he's only he's not as highly rated as some of the other wingers in the cop, but he's shown time and time again he's got a mean step on him and he can get through the best of the line. So the back line of the Bulldogs is absolutely terrifying when you look at it. And as we speak of the man, playing it there for his 30. Gould breaking the line. Back on the inside to Tedesco. Those offloads have been absolutely killing the Roosters, and they would be exhausted at the moment. So I think Harris and his boys, they're just hoping that they can get to the sheds without leaking any more points.
And this is the guy you've got to worry about. He's already stepped
And
to
he's
one.
off.
He's going to get chased down, though.
That was
Unfortunately, he didn't have enough gas.
No, some excellent cover defense there, but he's put his team in great position, just shy of the 30, and they're only playing it there for their second. So, not talking about leaking points, the Roosters are aiming to actually pile some points of their own on. So, 4 minutes left in the half. Ralph off to Goodwin, back on the inside for Harris. He puts his nose through a gap. Can't really get much further than that due to some of that defense. Ralph out to Goodwin. Out to Mansour, steps through the line, but is met again. And the Roosters positioning themselves for an attacking kick. Out to Curtin. He pushes, but he gets there too far, and it's a little bit of a wasted set there at the end.
Yeah, they just didn't show urgency there. It wasn't deep enough. It's just, yeah, their last tackle option. It's something they need to work on.
As Maxwell almost steps through the line again, and he would have been off and well on his way to getting 30 in the first half. Moana back on the inside again, third on the 30. Wallace, Jackson, back on the inside to Columbus, and he's off down the line. Mansour's there to stop him. So not too much further, but the Bulldogs throwing it around. They've decided to stop playing conservative, and as we see Hellier working through. And he's helped there from Mansour.
Look, I was just going to say, Hellier's just been phenomenal this game too. When you've got a leading 5'8". Now you've got the lock kicking. Moana, what can't he do?
Oh, Mansour got around one, but that cover defense to stop him from screaming down. There's not much that the Roosters are able to do right now because the Bulldogs are just too hot for them. As we got Curtin out to Wilson. Again, pushed back. Can't make it too much further. 1 minute left in the half, and the Roosters are camped firmly in their own. Johnson trying to make it to his 50. He'll get a play off here. The Roosters will be probably off to a kick, and the Bulldogs might have their kick return to see if they can do one more cheeky little play before we get the bell.
Yeah, they're going to have to put some pressure on these Bulldogs. As that looks like that'll tie it up.
And there's our bell. We'll see you after the break.
You know the kind of guy who does nothing but bad things and then wonders why his life sucks? Well, that was me. Every time something good happened to me, something bad was always waiting around the corner. Karma. That's when I realized I had to change. So I made a list of everything bad I've ever done, and one by one I'm going to make up for all my mistakes. I'm just trying to be a better person. My name is Earl.
Hey SRL fans, want to support the league further? Join the Simulation Rugby League Patreon. Get exclusive access to additional content, early access to league releases and supporter-only giveaways and upgrades. Whatever you're looking for, we have something for every fan. When you become a Patreon, you're more than just a spectator. You're a crucial part of our team. Your support helps us keep delivering the high-quality matches and content that you love, and it ensures that we can keep the SRL experience growing for fans of all ages. It's super simple. Head to our Patreon page, pick the tier that's right for you, and you're in. Every bit of support helps us grow and makes the SRL an even better place for everyone. Now, back to the game.
And welcome back to this absolutely electrifying match between the Bulldogs and the Sydney Roosters. 40 points in 40 minutes. What do the halftime stats have to tell us here, Nathan?
The completions from Roosters have been pretty woeful, and I think that with the Bulldogs, they've only had one set that wasn't completed, so it just goes to show why they're dominating.
Yep. Some other stats that we should probably mention. The tackles, 60 tackles from the Bulldogs to 101 tackles there from the Roosters. So the amount of tackling they're doing, their stamina out there was absolutely exhausted. And we got Mayava working their way up the sideline. So definitely not putting the pedal off the metal here, and it looks like the Bulldogs are putting their foot straight on the neck as Johnston breaks through the line, passes back on the inside to Moana, who's moved himself into the hooker position for this second half. So we'll see how and why that's worked as Johnson
That's his
breaks
second
it through.
break in this set. It's just phenomenal. He's bumping off players. And he's played a full 40 minutes.
As Hellier plays it there. So whilst he's been cooking with the kicking duties, we got, oh, just misses the kick there, and Harris picks it up. Oh no, not another scrum.
Look, I don't know if there's many players Bulldogs that haven't made a break yet.
Look at him go.
Middle.
Oh, love to see a prop with that much space in front of him, but he just couldn't capitalize on it as the Bulldogs save it just a little bit, and he's forced to play it there on the second. So looking like so far that the second half is not going to be as high scoring as the first half was, but we are only 3 minutes in, and it did take 7 minutes for the Bulldogs to cross for their first.
Yeah, look, with the first set that Bulldogs had, they did look dangerous. They're still spreading wide. They're putting pressure on these Roosters.
And another break there from Goodwin. Oh, the Roosters, they weren't this dangerous in the first half, so whatever Harris said to them in the break room must have put the fear of God in them, as Cambolo gets Dukes around one, and he's off. That's it. Shut the gate. He's off. There's nothing between him and the first defender. He's over.
His left foot, his right foot, he's just run all the way. He's a speed demon, really. No one's catching him. No one's nearby.
Goodwin is trying his hardest there, but there's just no way he was going to catch Cambolo. So that we now have both wingers who have scored. We've had our lock, we've had our 7 and our 11. The Bulldogs, unfortunately for the Roosters, are slowly working through their team list and trying to stop any of the nudie runs by the end of the season.
Mate, if anyone's got the try scorer bingo this week, they wouldn't be too far off, I reckon.
44 minutes in, 34-12. And for those viewers at home, the record point score is 88 from last season, Titans versus the Bulldogs. So not that I'm barracking for a complete whitewash here, but it would be nice to have the Bulldogs off that record list, at least in that one in particular. It's Goodwin. Kicks it deep. And we've got, kicks it very deep. Gould's forced to grab it in his own goal line. Only really makes it up to the 15. As we got Tohoni coming up, Johnson working his way up to the 25. Now, we tried to talk about it last half. What do the Roosters have to do here, Nathan, to make sure that, as we've got Metcalf breaking and he's off.
There's your answer. There's your answer. They're tackled.
Oh, look at that tackle. They get him just shy of the line. Moana off to Wallace. Wallace catches it flat, just shy of the line yet again. Moana tries for a crash play, but isn't able to. And we've got a 5th tackle kick coming up for the Bulldogs to maybe cross for another one. High, deep.
This is dangerous. Oh, good one. I don't think he took his eyes off the ball.
No, and for Goodwin to come on and save that is worth all the money in the league so far, as Goodwin to Goodwin. Playing it there for a 0, 25 metres out from their line. Lovely ball out to Weston, but Weston is met handily by Cambolo there, who just shanks it and does a bit of a no needed penalty there. Not what you want there.
It's definitely going to help the Roosters. It's going to give them another 15 metres at least.
And the Roosters definitely going to find themselves in a good attacking position at the end of this set, as long as they can hold on to the ball with Kerrigan in Bulldogs half, 48 minutes into the game. Wilson out to Goodwin. Lovely ball out to Mellett, but read well by the defence, playing it there. Goodwin breaks the line yet again.
That's unreal. I even took him off my super coach this week. That's unlucky for me.
Oh, Kerrigan playing it just shy of the 10-metre line for his fourth. Good ball out to Harris. Mellett met handily there. And the Roosters, 4 metres out, hopefully relying on a kick here, bring that score back. Goodwin kicks it. Doesn't get it. Tonahee picks it up, saves a certain try, and makes it up to his 10. Well done there from the Bulldogs.
Look, and I did like what the Roosters did there. They're finally putting a bit of pressure on that line. They couldn't quite execute it, but look, it's been one of their best last tackle options so far.
As Maxwell works his way up to his 20. Not touching the ball as much tonight as he usually does, Maxwell, but he doesn't need to when the forwards are breaking the line like Johnston is, as he plays it there just shy of his 40. Jackson boots it, and he boots it deep. Doesn't really have the angle, and Mansour is forced to play it there on his 30. So all in all, a good set there from the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it really was. They risk it. They did risk it to kick early, but look, they've got the points. They can afford to risk it.
Yes, and unfortunately for the Roosters, time is slowly getting away from them. It's definitely not time to put a full stop underneath the score here or proclaim who's won the game so far. But if the Roosters don't score and score quick, then the time is not going to work in their favour. And they've only made it to the 35 metres, so no attacking kick here. They're just going to have to rely on defence here to stop the attack. And it does. And Slugger playing it there for his first, just shy of the 30. Oh, Gould sticking his nose through the line. Good attack so far from the Bulldogs. Short side, down Slugger. No, it looks like Slugger's running a bit tired now, which you could kind of understand with the amount of running he's done all the way through the game.
Risky short side, Hellier.
Oh, Hellier is absolutely playing with fire there. Off to Maxwell, and Maxwell breaks the line, breaks another tackle. As a neutral observer, this is a riveting match so far, as Hellier puts it high and puts it deep. But there's just no one chasing, and Weston is off. There is no one home. There's no one near him. He plays a little bit of a game with the ref there. And there we have the Roosters. They're over.
Look, that's good stuff. Weston had been a little quiet tonight, but he took his opportunity and he saw that try line from a mile away and he knew it was his.
So that is definitely what the Roosters needed. And the deficit, 34-18. I'm not really good at maths too much, but I'm going to say 16-point deficit is definitely doable in the next, what have we got, 25 minutes. We could see one of the best comebacks in the SRL, or we could see the Bulldogs just tightening things up and coasting home. It's might be a bit too early to tell so far tonight.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a positive thing, though. They've sort of, these 18 points there've been some decent tries, but they've still come off errors from Bulldogs. They do need to tighten up with their defence.
Yeah, and knowing Moana, even with the score the way it is, he will not be happy with those errors. So looking forward to next week. There'll be some changes, or at least some discussions to be had from the Bulldog side, even if they do come away with the win tonight. As Goodwin plays it there, and Mellett tries vainly to get through the line and is shoved back to play it for his 30, for his third. Goodwin again. Kerrigan pushing and pushing and pushing and just gets over the 40. Dare we see another attacking kick here from the Roosters? He does kick it, but he's well over the 40, and it just doesn't have the angle. So Kembolo picks it and plays it there just shy of the 40.
Yeah, Bulldogs looking dangerous again. Second tackle, they're halfway. They're going to throw this ball around to the left.
Ooh, line ball there to Tonahee, working his way up over his 40. The Bulldogs are got to do a little bit more than this if they want to break through the Roosters line again, because the Roosters' defense, despite some of their errors, have been absolutely stonewall at times, playing it there for his fourth. And cheeky little pass to Johnston, and they're probably just too shy to put in an attacking kick. The Bulldogs are going to have to be worried because, nope, they put a bomb in, not the best bomb. And Rayno Driscoll grabs it safely and plays it there for their first. So it appears, Nathan, we've entered a little bit of an arm wrestle at the moment. So that's definitely not going to help the Roosters, is it?
No, it's not. But what I'm more concerned about, Anthony, is your Broncos next week. You're going to be up against the Bulldogs. Look, what are you going to do? You've got a lot to take in.
Yeah, so the first thing you got to worry about is their halves pairing is absolutely phenomenal. Hellier and Jackson, they both have, well, they've made next to no errors tonight, so you can't really rely on them to hand over the ball too quickly. And then if you move past the halves, you've got TTM, you've got the two wingers, and then you've got Moana. So, Mansour's over. But as you can see there, if you put the ball at the right place to the right people, the Bulldogs are definitely not perfect, and they can be scored upon. As Mansour, with those lovely white skins, steps one, he's over, and the game is back within reach here for the Roosters.
Yeah, look, I'm now starting to get worried here. We're actually taking on the Roosters next week. So, look, they've been dangerous at times, but yeah, I think they'll learn from their mistakes this week in training. They'll get drilled in defensive training, so it's going to be a bit of a worry.
Yeah, especially if you can score 24 with making, I think they made 5 or 6 errors in the first half. So definitely concerning if they come out and they have an absolutely blinder. So, I mean, we don't want to jinx these teams, but considering we're both versing them next week, we've got a couple of things to talk about in our own sheds just before we make our team lists, I think. So we've got Moana booting it deep, and Mansour's returning it back with Goodwin. Goodwin, the other B Goodwin. Excellent game so far tonight from the Goodwins. Lots of line breaks and a couple of save tackles here and there. Speak of the devil, a bit of a family affair, playing it there for his second. Curtin out to Mansour. Lovely ball to Edwards. And Edwards, he's been a bit quiet since that first runaway try in the first half, but he's able to make his way up to his 40. Curtin, just shy of the 50. And the Roosters, they're not really able to get too far, and they do that.
Oh, that's shocking. That is absolutely shocking. It's just an offload for no reason. But Bulldogs are going to capitalise off this.
Nope, okay, they do that.
Another commentator's curse.
Oh, I mean, you can expect it from the Roosters. They need to throw the ball around as much as they possibly can to get up the other end of the field. The Bulldogs, on the other hand, just have to get their bodies in the way, and they come up with it again. As Moana, well within attacking range here right now, as Gould works his way up to his 30. As we're about to see in the next 2 minutes or so. Oh, Namana breaks the line. As we're about to see our last little rotations of the subs in the next minute or so. And then it's just free sailing for the last 15 minutes all the way to the half. Bulldogs. Picks it up. Maxwell, he's over.
Bulldogs need to count themselves lucky here that they were trailing by 10 points. They sort of let it slip away a little bit, but as you can see there, it's just come off a loose ball and Maxwell was able to capitalise there.
Any other game, any other teams, you'd say that would have been the winning one. But we've still got 16 minutes left, and we've seen how fast both of these teams can pile on the points. So again, if Moana can hit this over, it'll be 40 points to 24. Well shy of the record, but we still got 16 minutes left to go, Nathan. You never know what might happen.
No, you don't. There's been some line breaks left, right and centre, so I'd be still putting me money on it.
And at the moment, if we're looking at our tipsters at home, those of you who are barracking for a Bulldogs win, particularly a Bulldogs 19+ win, let me bring it up. There we go. We've got, at the time of recording, we've only got 7 of you who believe in the Bulldogs to this extent. So those of you who are doing 9 to 18, you're hoping the scoreline stay the way it is. But for 7 lucky viewers out there, you are so very unhappy that the Bulldogs have thrown that away to the Roosters.
Look, there's not very many, but I wouldn't be counted off yet. Roosters might sneak one in here as they bring it up to the 10-metre line.
There's Ralph. Cheeky little pass out to Wilson. A line ball. Ref decides to hold his whistle in his pocket. Curtin to Harris. Harris pushing. Doesn't have the strength to get past the defence. Mansour out to Ralph. Lovely ball, but it's a forward.
Forward.
Oh, that's
there's a gap there.
That's rough.
It's unfortunate.
And the Bulldogs have been gifted lovely field position now, making their way up to the 30, playing it there for their second. Playing it slowly, the Roosters slowing the ruck down as Moana out to Hellier. Maxwell tries to dance through the line, met by some great defence there from the Roosters. As Metcalf over to Hellier. Johnston pushing forward. Can't really get much further than the 50. Lovely defence here from the Roosters so far. Back on the inside, and Maxwell can't get through the line. Great defence there from the Roosters. They need to get up the other end of the field, though.
They're going for a run on the last play. I don't think they knew who to throw the ball to, so Columbus thought, oh, might as well just run it.
Western dances up the sideline, and a great start to the set there from the Roosters. They know the time is not on their side. They need to be the next to score, ideally scoring on this set. As Goodwin forced to play there, just shy of the 40. Other Goodwin off to Harris. Harris, who is back on the field for this final little stint. Wilson off to Goodwin, off to Curtin, spreading it all the way from right to left, left to right. Playing it there on the 30. Driscoll off to Curtin. Johnson tries to get through, but the Bulldogs will have none of that. And the Roosters are going to force to do a punt kick at the end of this one. And they feel the game slowly slipping away, I think.
Yeah, look, he's off. But brought up at 30 metres. I think the Bulldogs are getting a little tired here, but I think they can string in one more.
Blowing the play the ball down. Hodgson almost held down too much there. Moana screaming for the ref to call the penalty, but they don't, and Maxwell works his way over the 40. Jackson back on the inside to Johnson, but the Roosters are ready, and he only gets onto his other side of his 30. Moana back down the blind side, back on the inside to Maiava. She gets through 15 minutes out, and the Bulldogs, perfect place for an attacking kick. Do they nail it? Off to Hellier, up high. It is deep, and they bounce, and Mansour is lucky enough to grab it, and the Bulldogs have earned themselves another repeat set.
Number one rule, you don't let it bounce, and to let it bounce in the in-goal line, that's a risky play.
Oh, how many times have we seen it bounce up for the attacking side and straight over?
Yeah, that's it, and the last thing you want to do is give Bulldogs that try when you're trailing by 16.
Hellier with the filthy dummy, but he does pass it. And Driscoll is off, but Moana is there, and Moana stops it. Roosters, lovely ball there. Goodwin's off now. Oh, now we were literally 3 tackles ago at the 20-metre line on the other side of the field, and already the Roosters, Mansour gets around one, breaks the tackle, dives. Dangerous, 7 minutes left to go. Goodwin passes to Goodwin, wow, and Goodwin is over.
Where has that been all night? That is phenomenal. And you can't knock Hellier. He had an awesome run, but unfortunately, a little mistake like that can bring your opposition to the other side and crash over for a try.
Absolutely fantastic family connection there. So we've seen Goodwin pass it to Goodwin, and Goodwin, who is about to, hopefully for his sake, slot it over. If he gets this over, there will be 6 minutes left in this match and 10 minutes a deficit. Is that able to be come back from, Nathan?
Really hard at Belmore to get the win, but to trail by so much and then come back. I don't know if the Roosters have it, but Bulldogs are letting go a little bit, and Moena's not happy.
And I for one, do not want to hear what he's about to say to his team when they hit the sheds, because, I mean, at one point, I think they're about 30 points in front. So with 5 minutes left in the match, I think he will be, or all Bulldog supporters out there will be gritting their teeth, crossing every part of their body they possibly can, and hoping that the Roosters do not have it in them to claw back these 10 points. As we've got Goodwin passing it out to Mansour. Curtin, deep in the field, works his way up to his 40. Wilson, off to Harris. Kerrigan tries to break through the line, only really gets to his 50, plays it there for his 4. Bulldogs working well with the defence so far. Back on the inside to Harris, who bumps off one. Can't get around TTM, though, and the Bulldogs might have done enough to stop this attacking set here from the Roosters.
Yeah, phenomenal run. It's going to be hard because you've only got 4 minutes to work. It's a few more steps as Kembolo runs off. He's got the space again. He's getting close, but he might be chased down here. They have got him. They're 10 metres out.
Off to Hellier, off to Columbus. Columbus trying to push forward. The strong centre put over onto his back, 5 metres out. Less than 3 minutes left to go. Jackson off to Mayava. Almost gets around Mayava, 3 metres out. Back over, Jackson, read heftily. 4th tackle, 4 metres out, 3 minutes left to go. Moana off to Johnston. Lovely ball to Hodgson, but the defence is there and the Roosters hold them out. And they've made 90 metres, but most of that 90 metres was off that first run. Hellier puts it high, deep. Edwards grabs it. They have 2 minutes to score 10 points.
Yeah, look, the wingers of the Roosters have been great under the high ball. Could really only knock Mansour for that one that he just let bounce. I think a bit of a communication breakdown, but yeah, look, you can't fault them.
Oh, except when they do that.
A bit of a mix-up there. It's something we've been saying all night. It's just you're throwing the ball around too much and you're leading to tries on the opposition.
And unfortunately, I think that's probably the last of the miracles of the night, and the Bulldogs are probably going to walk or limp this one home in the last 10 minutes, unless Maxwell or Moana or one of these Bulldogs can do a nice cheeky little break here. Oh, hell yeah, lovely ball out to Columbus. And we've got one more kick, and the Roosters will probably finish the night with ball in hand. As Johnson breaks the line, passes on the inside to Moana. Moana, 5 metres out, 15 seconds left in the match.
How many line breaks has Johnson done? It's got to be nearly double digits. It's every time he's had that ball, he's been dangerous as Western makes a good 30 metres to wrap up the game.
And the bell goes, the Belmore crowd goes wild that their doggies have won tonight. Probably not as much of a margin as they were expecting, especially after the first half. And there's a lot of relieved fans in the stands there, as we have the first of our stats. And the Roosters, they clawed back some of that possession. That was 60% to the Bulldogs at the beginning of at the beginning of the second half. They clawed it back. They did what they could, but unfortunately, those completion stats, they are definitely telling of what this game turned into.
Yeah, it's definitely sort of a win for the Roosters when you look at it. That second half was a big improvement. They've got to work off that next week, but so do the Bulldogs. They're going to look at probably tying up their defence a bit more as well.
Yep. And as we move on to some individual stats here from the Bulldogs. No surprise there, Cambolo topping out the run meters. TTM, he had 7 line breaks, but and 2 tries to his name, but not running as much as you would expect from some of those stats.
Oh, look, there's our boy Johnson, 197 meters. It's with 6. Okay, he didn't quite get the double digits, but wasn't far off. Of those 6 line breaks, I think, were very crucial at times.
And the list just goes on of those in their triple digits. We got Helio, we got Moana, Jackson. We've got the both halves well over 100 meters there. We got Moana, 26 tackles, 3 line breaks, no try assists, but he definitely lovely try to his name. Try assists all over the board. The stats tonight for the Bulldogs are definitely telling for how dominant they were for, I'd say, probably about 90% of that match.
Yeah, definitely. I think Yusuf probably doesn't want to look at his stats too much. He had a quiet game. Hellier was dominating, but yeah, I think they just need to iron out those creases between the two of them. They're going to be too dangerous this season.
Definitely. As we move on to the Roosters. And Cody Mansour again, no surprise, 10 line breaks, 1 try, 215 meters, 18 tackles for a fullback is just phenomenal. One of the reasons why the Roosters could be considered in this game tonight.
Yeah, Mansour and Weston, like for your fullback and your 2 wingers to top your run meters, it is common, but those 3 were probably the best for them. Every time they got the ball, they were a bit dangerous for the Roosters. And not to mention, they all got a try each. So.
Yeah, which is great to see. Unfortunately, though, I think Harris will be focusing on that errors column. A lot of errors tonight, which is unfortunate. It's not what you want to see, but the fact that his boys could still pile on 30 points with that many errors, it's definitely not a complete loss for the Roosters tonight.
Yeah, definitely. And look, you can even see if the kick meters at Harris getting 34 of those. It just goes to show. I don't think there was enough kicking. They weren't kicking into the corners. They weren't trapping their Bulldogs, their opposition. So, yeah, definitely a lot to work on.
Well, that's us for the night. It's been a pleasure to have you here with Nathan in the box with us. The winners tonight, Bulldogs, well-deserved win. We'll see for one more game on Wednesday.